Dear children, this is the fifth lesson or fifth video of 8 videos. This is a continuation of distillation method, steam distillation. In this video, I would like to discuss the last part of distillation method, that is steam distillation. We use this method to remove volatile components from plant parts or to purify substances. The principle behind this steam distillation is when water-soluble compounds mix with water, make a solution with high boiling point. So remember that volatile compounds within the cell also mix with water and makes solution with high boiling points. This is the setup we use to steam distillation. Now you can see two round bottom flasks were kept on and provided heat for each of the flask. Here this is the heat generator or the steam generator where we put water and provide heat until it produces vapor. This produced vapor goes through this this tube to the other flask where we wanted to distill compounds, where we want the compounds that we wanted to distill, and that is also in a solution. This steam goes there, and you can see underneath it also we have to provide heat. Why? There should be a question. Now we are sending steam that is also having high heat. So when we provide more heat, that means we give more temperature, or we heated the steam also. Thereby we get superheated steam here. So because of this steam, what will happen? The compounds in this mixture get vaporized and mixed with water goes through this tube to the condenser. While going the condenser, the steam condensed or come to its liquid state due to cooling and comes to the conical flask. When it comes to its liquid form, remember that these two compounds are not mixed each other, water and the distilled liquid. So that is the principle behind this. This is a simple lab apparatus to demonstrate the steam distillation. This is the steam generator. Here the things that we wanted to separate, and the Liebig condenser, and the same procedure is here. Now let's see in detail what is steam distillation. You know that certain plant parts contain volatile compounds. The boiling point of these components having different boiling points. So if we provide direct heat, what will happen to these components? They will denature, or else it is really difficult to provide uniform temperature to take them into their boiling points. So what we have to do, we have to provide the heat as a steam. Now you have to remember that when water-soluble compounds are mixed with water, the boiling point of the mixture is above the boiling point of water. That means higher than 100 degrees of centigrade. When the compounds that do not mix well with water, the boiling points of the mixture is lower than water. So keep those 2 points in your mind. Many of the essential oil compounds are immiscible in water. And the boiling point, immiscible means not mixed with water, and the boiling point is higher than water. These compounds mixed well in water in the living plant tissue, that means within the cell. When steam is provided, both the water and the essential oil compounds liberated as a mixture of vapor below the boiling point of water. When the distillate or the vapor is cooled, that is happening in the condenser, it separates into two layers. Why? Because of this immiscibility property. Thus can be easily separated as pure substances. For your knowledge, here I have put some pictures of the essential where we can extract essential oil from different plant parts. These are lemongrass or Cymbopogon, nutmeg, clove, cardamom, citronella, cinnamon, and these are very valuable oil. Here use lotus, jasmine, here rose, jasmine and lotus. There are so many. So all these things, the extraction techniques is steam distillation. Now we come to another extraction method, that is solvent extraction. Now first see this special equipment. This is called separating funnel. Here what you should do, the partial removal of a substance from a solution or mixture by dissolving it in another. Now as an example here, separate iodine from aqueous solution of iodine. Aqueous solution is made by iodine dissolving in water, that is aqueous solution of iodine. Here we have to put aqueous solution. Remember that in an aqueous solution, that means iodine is less soluble in water. So in this aqueous solution, iodine does not dissolve thoroughly. So what we wanted to we want to separate this iodine from this aqueous solution. So then we have to put a carbon tetrachloride solution and then add aqueous iodine solution to this separating funnel. When we shake it well, you can observe later on what will happen. This carbon tetrachloride, iodine, you know, it's purple color. This earlier when it dissolved in water, it is not purple, it's hay color. So what will happen, gradually we will observe the purple color, the carbon tetrachloride turns to purple color while the aqueous solution turns to pale. Reason, iodine is less soluble in water but well soluble in carbon tetrachloride. Now you can see here these two, carbon tetrachloride and aqueous solution, is not mixed with each other. Then we put these two things together and we will see later on the solutes in this aqueous solution moves to the lower part. That means comes to the carbon tetrachloride area. By letting this carbon tetrachloride to evaporate, we can get iodine. So that is how we can use solvent extraction. Now, uses of solvent extraction to separate medicinal components from plant extractions. Here now we came to the end of the video. Finally, I would like to thank Mr. G.D. Subasinghe, retired Science Project Officer of NIE Sri Lanka, and thank you all of you for watching the video. Hope you'll get some understanding about this separation techniques. If you think that you gain some knowledge, please subscribe the channel and share the link with your friends. Thank you.